Leo, you wouldn't happen to know where my guard point is, would you? Daisuke seems to have moved and then Whoa! Okay, but do you have to have those out? What about Ram? Do you really have to take all the waifus of the game? Come on, man. So they love Soul. That's not fair, where's my waifu? Sure. Anyway, did you see my guard point? What? That was my entire character. Why did you do that? Didn't you get a command grab? Whatever you say. I'm gonna get a drink or something. Stupid Daisuke saying it's part of his vision. Dude needs glasses if his vision's that bad. Let's talk about Anji Mito. Anji Mito is a Rushdown character who was originally introduced in the XX series of Guilty Gear games. In that game, his main tool was Guard Point. A lot of his moves were able to power through an enemy's attack and could even be cancelled into a super when the Guard Point was activated. This, along with his Butterfly Oki, made him terrifying to fight against as he was able to keep his turn for longer than most characters and punish you for attempting to find a gap in his string. He was absent from the XR games though, probably due to what Johnny did to him. But now he's back in Strive and looking better than ever. Look at this model! Look at the walk cycle! Look how much swag he has! Oh my god, that super looks so cool, dude! Yo, he has a parry super! Oh, I'm gonna annoy so many people with this. This character's cool. I'm gonna play him so much. He's gonna be sick. He's gonna be top tier, man. I can't wait.
2 hours later.
Jesus, this sucks! Why can you just flash kick through that? That isn't fair. This makes this terrible. You can just... Why isn't this a command grab anymore? Oh my god, the butterfly is so slow. Why isn't this a reversal, dude? Oh, come on. Where did my guard point go? This character's bottom tier. Fuck. Is this you? Were you excited to play Anji Mito, but then had the crushing realization that he was nothing like he was in Plus R? Or were you just brought to him because of his assets, only to find yourself limited by the options that he has on the enemy's block? Maybe this is someone you know, and they constantly complain about the character while being stuck on floor 7. Well, don't fret, dear viewer. You've stumbled into the greatest Anji Mito guide. Warning, guide may not be the greatest guide for Anji Mito, where I'll show you how to optimally play the character and become the best Anji Mito. Warning, this is bullshit, please do not take it seriously. Anji's a proud member of the Gorilla Crew, so he plays the best and only playstyle that Guilty Gear has, Rushdown. Rushdown. Rushdown! God damn it! Anji's an extremely sticky character in this game, able to stay close to a character with long block strings that can catch out most options if they see them coming. For example, 6H is special cancelable at all points of the attack. It also makes you move forward and hit multiple times, making it a good pressure and combo tool, as well as allowing for mix-ups by cancelling it into the This is Anji's new defining feature as a character. His guard point? Wait, this isn't right. That's not how guard point works. Upon using 236K and holding the button on 236S or 236H, Anji enters a spinning state in which he parries any attack that would hit him. After an ending animation, Anji is able to attack, and the enemy must complete their attacking animation with hitboxes being disabled. This is Videl's spot dodge again! Arxis, what the fuck? It's not as bad as her spot dodge, cause you're still able to use all of the universal mechanics of the game, aka you're not getting rid of push block for this, and being able to cancel into it from attacks with the ability of it moving you forward and possibly leading into another move if the enemy doesn't hit you is good enough for it to not be considered garbage like Videl's. Like, you can really get some mileage out of this, as it doesn't count as a hit when enemies go through you, so they can't RC to save themselves once it connects. So if you sniff the scent of a DP coming, you can do your fancy spin and punish them on the way down, which is satisfying, if not really goddamn risky. Also, the parry guard point thing, I don't know how to describe it, doesn't come out until frame 10, so if your enemy is really good at mashing, then you can get punished. Would this be broken if it was frame 1? Like, I know that sounds powerful, but DPs make you invincible frame 1, and both of these can be thrown, right? Like, frame 10 just seems a lot, dude. It's like a 1/6 of a second. I don't know, I've never been hit while it's active, but it feels like a lot on paper. Anyway, what else do we have? Well, he's got a butterfly with 236p, and it's really slow. Like, both in startup and movement of this projectile are really slow. The only slower startup projectiles are Millia's H-Dix, which is mostly used for Oki situations, or BM, and Kai's H-Fireball, but the actual speed of it is much faster, and it's a multi-hit so it can lead into advantageous scenarios, has an air version that goes horizontally down so it can be used for long-range aerial combat and approaches, and leaves you at plus 15 on block without Dragon install. Know what Anji leaves you at? -5. If the projectile is blocked right in front of Anji, he is left at -5. Because of this, the projectile is relegated to strictly Oki only, and if you use it any other situation, I'll run to your house with the no horny bat and bonk you on the head. Do not use this in neutral, I beg of you. Thankfully, Anji has some good things in his kit, and I don't mean like how parry is good where it's kind of good, but you gotta use your brain and gamble a little bit. I mean objectively good moves. 236S is an amazing anti-air. It covers this angle just above and in front of Anji, so it's really good for catching most opponents jumping towards you, as well as instant air dashing in due to the length of the air dash. Not to mention, the entire move has some form of overhead invincibility, so if they're above you, you're basically guaranteed to connect with them or at least clash. And though 14 frames of recovery seems like a lot, due to it being in the air, Anji is generally able to make up for it with an aerial move like Jump S, Jump H, or Jump K, whatever the situation calls for, so he can get on more pressure going on both airborne and blocking opponents. Not to mention, with a little bit of meter, you can get an absolutely nasty combo with a little bit of meter or the corner and on counter hit. That's almost like 50% of someone's health just gone, like that. Now it's time for the main event. Everyone grab your popcorn, grab your carbonated beverages, and clear the area next to you, perhaps for the greatest joke ever conceived by man. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? What the hell was that? Oh, Fujin. Oh, Fujin. Look how they massacred my boy. I will give some credit to Fujin. It's an excellent tool for combos and something else which I'll get onto later, but let's look at what I believe its intended purpose was for. Block pressure. Fujin, in the older games, was a really good mix-up tool due to the options that Anji had out of it and how fast they were. Let's go back and look at it, shall we, really quick. In Plus R, Anji had two versions of Fujin, 236S and 236H. H was a longer startup, but made up for it with strike invulnerability for the majority of that startup, so you could guard point through your enemy's attack. Apart from that, Strive and Plus R version is pretty similar, but the differences are with the options you have afterwards. Let's go in the order of least to most changed between the games. K has Anji leap forward to get next to their opponent. This is designed to be used when Anji has got the opponent to block most of the options after Fujin, so you can go in for a throw, with the layer above that being that you can bait a throw and reset his pressure. Strive version is actually 2 frames faster, so this is a buff, though Plus R has low crush properties, so the buff really isn't worth it. S is a low sweep follow-up that is the fastest of Anji's moves, useful for frame traps and catching your opponent trying to block the overhead. This was massively buffed in Strive. It's now way less negative, and the pushback makes it hard for most characters to effectively punish it. Plus, being the only true block string out of Fusion can cause the opponent to mash something that they didn't want as they were trying to count another option. P sends Anji flying into the air as he sends down a fan or several fans at the enemy, leaving them in block stun. As you can see, we appear to have a bit of a fan shortage in Strive, as Anji only fires out 2 instead of 6, which not only makes it look way weaker, but also affects the frame data. By how much? Well, here's Strive's frame data. +4, nice. It's good to have an option that gives you raw advantage on hit. Now try and guess what it was in Plus R. +17. 7 fucking teen. I'm sorry, but what kind of fucked frame advantage is that? That's overkill. That's 3 frames short of a third of a second, and he gets it by just pressing P. He was so free to do whatever he wanted. That's insane. What happened? Why do you hate Anji Daisuke? Finally, we have the Hate Wrecker, which is a slow overhead that can lead to a free combo. This is, again, faster in Strive. However, in plus R, Anji is throw invincible for the majority of the move. He is invincible to all high attacks for the majority of the move, and when it is blocked, the move leaves Anji at -0. When you block Anji's H Fujin Wrecker in Guilty Gear Accent Core plus R, you are reset back to neutral. If you block the H Wrecker in Guilty Gear Strive, Anji combusts on the spot as he's -15, meaning that you can do your biggest combo on him. This is a completely different move now. I don't care if it looks the same and shares the same motion input, this move has been gutted like crazy. I believe that Daisuke visited Anji in the hospital and removed his legs if you show me this frame advantage. Dude can't get anything done compared to before. But you may have rushed to the comment to tell me that Guilty Gear Strive and plus R are very different games, and if I don't like Strive, I should go back and play my old game. Which is fair, they are different, but we haven't even got to the worst bit yet. See, Anji gets countered. Yeah, so as of the current patch, if Anji uses Fujin on Leo, he gets DP'd no matter what he does, as Leo's /flash kick comes out in 7 frames, and your true block string leaves you at -7. Yikes. Not to mention, any of the characters with a DP can go through every other option, and even go through just ending the Fujin without a follow-up. Because of this, and honestly the really bad lack of good mix-up options of Fujin, I think it's a really bad pressure tool. Honestly, if you're getting hit with the raw overhead, you're either playing on PS5, fighting Anji for the first time, or with a lot of lag, or you're below floor 8, I'm just saying. But Fujin is really good for combos, as it's able to connect from pretty far away, and the S follow-up allows you to get a soft knockdown to continue pressure. But there is a playstyle that I think Anji was absolutely made for. What if I told you that Anji Mito is the king of resets? So, before we start, what is a reset? A reset is where you intentionally end a combo early in order to begin a new combo on your opponent for more damage. Look here at this poor specimen. He thinks he ain't about to get reset. Fool! Behold! My overhead technique! Ah! With this, I'm not only able to have the damage from the previous combo and the wall damage stacked up, but I get a new full combo from the overhead, which can do insane damage. Look at this! Look with your eyes! Oh, but what if they block the overhead? Well, that's where K comes in, as you're able to jump and throw them! It's hit throw, baby! But what if they're gonna DP me? They'd end the combo early and prepare for a wake-up DP. Just because I think that the reset is Anji's best option doesn't mean you should always go for it. Sometimes you gotta let the pot simmer a bit before you add the spice. Sometimes you gotta fry the veg before you add the chicken. I wrote in my script that I was really hungry, but I got takeout straight after it, so fuck you, writer me. This is the strategy that I love to use when playing this character. The rush I feel from finally pulling off a proper reset and comboing my enemy from corner to corner. It's so satisfying. His combos are satisfying to pull off, and his supers, oh god, I haven't even talked about the supers yet. 63216HS is a pretty common input, so I'm just going to start referring to it as the GG input from now on. His GG input super is a big spinny fan that covers the area directly in front of him. It doesn't have any invincibility, but it looks cool and breaks walls, so you'll mostly be using it for that. GG input S is a parry super, where if you're hit while in the stance, you do a full combo on the enemy that does a lot of damage and breaks the wall. This is really satisfying to pull off, but just don't spam it because you'll have the same problem with a whiff spin where you're just gonna... yeah, that. So, that's Anji Mito. Is he good? God, no. You watched all of this and that's your question. Are you okay? Do you want to go see Dr. Daisuke, master of removing plus frames? Is he fun though? Yes, he really is. Just because he's objectively bad compared to the gods of the game doesn't mean that you can't get things done with him. As long as you use that monkey brain of yours, play around your enemy and go for fat resets, you'll do good. But seriously though, I said it last time and I'll say it again, fuck Leo.